So, new data reveals that 19% of private sector jobs are now filled by temporary foreign workers. Temporary foreign workers. This is from Juno News. So, you know what's interesting, right? The country being flooded with temporary foreign workers. It's now almost 1 in 5 private sector jobs is temporary foreign workers. And of course, the reason for that is because it's cheap labor for business in Canada, and they get like tax credits and there's like free training. Sometimes it's just direct subsidization by the taxpayer to pay these people, right? This is from Kirk Lubimov. This is what youth in Canada face to try and get a basic entry level job. Look at the size of this lineup for a couple of internship spots. Most of this line aren't even Canadians. Well, look at this. Do you know what sane leadership would do? Would say no more temporary foreign workers. This is crazy. Look at this lineup for a couple of spots, internship spots. Look at this. This is what Canadians have to compete with? An endless line of people? This is insanity. This is complete and utter and total insanity. Now let's watch this.
Temporary foreign workers now account for 19% of the private sector economy. So 1 in 5 workers in the private sector is now not even a permanent resident, not even on track to become a citizen, just someone who's here temporarily to, I don't know, provide cheap labor for large corporations or other groups that want that kind of worker in. And I mean, it's just totally wild that is the priority. That is the way that we are organizing our economy. What did you make of this story?
Yeah, it's we've never seen anything like it. And on Not Sorry for Juno, I've got a big guest this week. I'm excited to share that episode, and we're going to really be going into that. But for example, like my wife and I, we were on the Sunshine Coast of British Columbia this weekend. We live in Vancouver, and we were up in Gibsons and went further up the coast. And out there, because it's hard to get to, there's not some big highway. There's a barrier to entry to things like the TFW program and, let's be real, a litany of fake schools. They just don't exist out there. And so you actually saw local kids, local 20-somethings, local 30-somethings working in the jobs that they've always been able to work in before. And you come back to Vancouver, you go to Toronto, you go to Calgary, Edmonton, that doesn't exist anymore. And then we turn around, we see that 19% stat. We see in cities like
You're not even like on Vancouver Island, like you go down the highway, stop at a gas station. It's all temporary foreign workers all along. Even there, even in he's saying the Sunshine Coast is not like that yet. I'm surprised because even in like rural communities, a lot of rural communities, you go there and it's foreigners working there. It's foreigners just working in the stores.
Like Toronto, youth unemployment right now is estimated to be around 20%. It's probably higher. And we're failing to launch these kids. They're at risk of not getting that foot in the door, not getting these sort of seminal experiences that they need to develop confidence, to be part of a team, to break out of the bubble, to especially with the rise of technology and the fight for every second of their attention span. It's like they need to be out there and they need to be working. And the worry is they're not. And unless we hold these sort of TFWP abusers to account and really like force the government to stick to its apparent claims that it wants to revise targets and do a bit of a better job, we're going to lose hundreds of thousands of kids just off the bat who are going to just be spinning their wheels and miss these key years. And then we're going to turn around and wonder why we have even more problems. And then the only solution to that for these companies, and if it's a liberal government, will be like, well, then let's bring in even more temporary foreign workers. It's like, it's a vicious cycle.
Yes, and surprise, surprise, the technocrat globalist, Mark Carney, the technocrat globalist central banker, Mark Carney, is not dealing with this in any kind of meaningful way. And I feel quite sure that next year we're going to find out there are actually more that came in under him than did under Trudeau. A fourth liberal term, folks. Just a bad idea. A bad idea. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.